Southern cooking isn't just about recipes, it's about history. It's the feeling of a family reunion, the warmth of a farmhouse kitchen, and the dishes that were once the heart of our tables. But over time, many of these classics have disappeared, lost to history in the changing pace of life. We're opening up that old family cookbook to rediscover 25 forgotten down-home Southern dishes that no one makes anymore, each with a story, a flavor, and a memory. Number 1. Tomato aspic, a dish of pure, surprising elegance. This quivering, jewel-toned jelly was made from rich tomato juice, often homemade, mixed with gelatin, diced celery, green onions, and a touch of Worcestershire sauce. Chilled and then unmolded, it was a potluck sensation, a savory, tangy counterpoint to the heavy, fried foods on the table. It was a dish that required a specific patience, the delicate balance of flavors and the time for it to set properly, which became a casualty of our fast-paced lives. Number 2. Cornbread salad. This wasn't a quick-fix recipe, but a beautiful, layered masterpiece. A glass bowl was meticulously built with a foundation of crumbled, day-old cornbread, followed by layers of sweet corn, chopped bell peppers, sharp cheddar cheese, and crispy bacon. Each layer was lightly coated with a creamy mayonnaise-based dressing. It was a potluck star, prized for its impressive appearance and rich, savory sweet flavor. But the labor of making each component from scratch ultimately led to its disappearance. Number 3. Chicken and dumplings, old school method. Forget the fluffy canned biscuits. This was the real, soulful version. The dumplings were not airy puffs, but hand-rolled, flat, and chewy. They were simmered directly in a rich, long-simmered chicken stock until they took on a silky texture, absorbing all the flavor of the broth. This dish required an entire afternoon of patient, loving work, with the cook tending to the pot, cutting and dropping the dumplings one by one. It was a true comfort food that embodied the slow pace of a Sunday afternoon. Number 4. Livermush, a humble, resourceful dish born from the necessity of using every part of the hog. Livermush, a regional delicacy in North Carolina, was a savory, spiced mixture of pork liver, pork scraps, and cornmeal. It was formed into a loaf, sliced, and then fried in a skillet until it developed a crispy, golden brown crust. Served with a drizzle of molasses or a smear of mustard on a warm biscuit, it was a hearty, inexpensive breakfast that's now too far removed from modern tastes. Number 5. Candied yams with marshmallows. We know the casserole, but the original was something different entirely. Yams were slow simmered in a cast iron skillet with brown sugar, butter, cinnamon, and a hint of nutmeg, creating a thick, caramelized syrup that coated each piece of yam. The marshmallows were a topping, toasted to a golden brown. This dish, with its deep, earthy sweetness, was a holiday staple that's been replaced by faster, less flavorful versions. Number 6. Kraut and weenies, a dish of pure, unpretentious comfort. This was a one-pot meal where sauerkraut, sliced hot dogs, or weenies, and sometimes potatoes or apples were simmered together for hours. The long simmer allowed the flavors to meld, creating a savory, slightly sweet and tangy dish that was a go-to for a filling, no-fuss dinner, especially on a cold winter night. Its simplicity and robust flavor were its strength. Number 7. Salmon patties, a true testament to Southern ingenuity. Made from canned salmon, often a pantry staple, these patties were bulked up with breadcrumbs, chopped onions, and a host of seasonings like dill or parsley. They were pan-fried in bacon grease until the outside was perfectly crisp and the inside remained flaky and moist. They were a budget-friendly weeknight dinner, often served with a scoop of corn and a side of wilted greens, providing a nutritious and satisfying meal. Number 8. Hoe cakes. Not to be confused with a pancake. These were simple griddle-fried cornmeal cakes. Just cornmeal, salt, and water, sometimes with a touch of flour or sugar. They got their name because they were said to be cooked on the blade of a hoe over a fire. Crisp on the outside, tender on the inside, they were the perfect vessel for sopping up leftover gravy or pot liquor, a sign of a true Southern table where nothing went to waste. Number 9. Chess pie, a dessert of pure, unadulterated sweetness. The filling, a simple custard of sugar, butter, and eggs, often with a hint of cornmeal for texture, was a testament to making something wonderful from very little. This pie was a staple at Sunday suppers, a rich and satisfying end to a big meal. It was a rustic, humble pie that's been overshadowed by more complex and flashy desserts. Number 10. Creamed peas. This wasn't just a side dish, it was a testament to patience and a celebration of garden freshness. Tender-shelled peas, often freshly picked, were simmered with cream, butter, and a hint of mint or onion until they became a silky, luxurious dish. It's a dish of pure, unpretentious goodness, a fleeting memory from a time when home-cooked vegetables were a given, and their flavor was a thing to be savored. Number 11. Red eye gravy. The unsung hero of a southern breakfast. Made by deglazing a cast iron skillet after frying ham, using just black coffee and a touch of water or broth. Its name comes from the small red eye that appears in the center of the dark liquid as the fat from the ham collects. It was a perfect salty companion for biscuits and grits, a way to add depth and flavor to a simple meal, a practice now seen as too niche. Number 12. Fried okra. Before the breaded frozen version took over, there was fried okra. Fresh, sliced okra was tossed directly into hot oil with just a pinch of salt until the pods were crisp and nutty. This method, without the starchy coating, brought out the vegetable's natural flavor and created a satisfying crunch. It was a seasonal treat, a way to enjoy the bounty of the summer garden. Number 13. Goulash. This southern goulash wasn't Hungarian. It was a comforting mixture of ground beef, elbow macaroni, and tomatoes, all simmered together in a single pot with a mix of herbs and spices until it became a thick, hearty stew. It was a perfect one-pot meal that was a lifesaver for busy moms before casseroles became the norm. Its simplicity and filling nature made it a family favorite. Number 14. Baked custard. Smooth, velvety, and impossibly simple. Just eggs, milk, sugar, and a hint of nutmeg or vanilla. Baked in a water bath until set. Served chilled, it was a light, soothing dessert, often served as someone feeling under the weather, or as a delicate end to a heavy holiday meal. Its gentle flavor and soft texture made it a perfect comfort food. Number 15. Cracklin' bread. This wasn't just cornbread. It was a dish of pure, unadulterated resourcefulness. This rich, savory cornbread was made by adding crispy rendered pork rinds, cracklins, into the batter. As the bread baked, the cracklins would soften slightly, releasing their porky flavor throughout the loaf, creating a moist, savory interior with bits of delicious fat. It was a dish born from a deep respect for using every part of the hog, a practice that's nearly disappeared from modern kitchens. It was perfect for sopping up the last drops of turnip greens pot liquor. Number 16. Fried green tomatoes. The original fried green tomatoes were a simple affair, a testament to the tangy, firm fruit itself. They were sliced and then dredged in a simple mixture of seasoned flour, not the heavy cornmeal breading we see today. Pan-fried in hot bacon grease, they developed a light, delicate crust that gave way to a perfectly cooked, still firm center. This method allowed the acidic, bright flavor of the green tomato to be the star, making it a favorite summer side dish, especially when paired with fresh vegetables from the garden. Number 17. Tomato gravy. This wasn't just a sauce, it was the ultimate use for leftover bacon grease. Diced, ripe tomatoes were added to the hot skillet, then thickened with flour and simmered down. The result was a rich, savory gravy, often with a hint of black pepper that was perfect for spooning over biscuits or grits. It turned a simple breakfast into a memorable meal, a cherished tradition now largely forgotten as we've moved away from rendered animal fats and simple pantry-based recipes. Number 18. Pimento cheese spread. Not the store-bought variety. The real thing was a labor of love, a perfect blend of extra sharp cheddar, a high-quality mayonnaise, and a specific type of diced pimento. The cheese was often grated by hand and mixed with the mayonnaise until it reached the perfect, creamy consistency. This was a treasured recipe, and its success relied on the right proportions and the cook's intuitive touch. It was a staple for sandwiches, crackers, and celery sticks, a snack that tasted like a summer day on the porch swing. Number 19. Ambrosia salad, no marshmallows. The real ambrosia was a light and elegant mixture of fresh oranges, grated coconut, and pineapple. There was no Cool Whip, no maraschino cherries, and no marshmallows. It was a delicate dessert for special occasions and holidays, a beautiful mix of textures and bright, citrusy flavors that truly lived up to its name, food of the gods. This version has been replaced by more modern, sweeter, and heavier fruit salads. Number 20. Tea cakes. These weren't fancy, but they were a pure delight. Crisp on the edges and soft in the middle, these simple, buttery cookies were a quiet afternoon treat. Made from a simple batter of butter, flour, sugar, and an egg, they were a perfect example of how a few basic ingredients could be transformed into something wonderful. They were often stored in a cookie tin, ready for a surprise visitor or a child's after-school snack, a true symbol of Southern hospitality. These weren't just meals, they were the stories told around a formica table. The recipes, jotted down on the back of an envelope, were a language of love. Each spoonful was a taste of our history, a connection to the people who came before us, to their resilience and their generosity. And while the pace of life has changed, and these dishes may no longer grace our tables, they live on in our memories. In the dusty pages of an old family cookbook, in the whispers of a grandmother's voice, and in the love we share when we talk about a time when food was and will always be the heart of the home.